Trading futures and options on futures involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all traders and investors. Oftentimes in futures trading, you have a high combination of leverage and volatility. And although this could be an equation for opportunity, it's also an equation for risk. So be careful. Only fund your futures trading account with risk capital. My personal definition of risk capital is money I could afford to lose, doesn't change my lifestyle, or overly stress me out. As human beings, we make bad decisions when we're under stress, so be in a good spot. Remember, micro contracts could be friends. Take it easy on the day trade margins. You get plenty of leverage without maxing out on those day trade margins on a regular basis. We'll be taking a look at a real-time simulated live NinjaTrader trading platform today, and none of this should be construed as trade or investment advice. Past performance not indicative of future results. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Platforms Unleashed. My name is Jim Cagnina with NinjaTrader. It is Monday, December 11th, 2023. Appreciate everybody being here with us today. Well, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about different chart types, different chart strategies using the NinjaTrader trading platform, the desktop platform. And there's more than just your regular open, high, low, close charts that you could choose from with the NinjaTrader platform. And we're going to walk you through it. Feel free to participate in the chat if you have some questions. The chat could be found at ninjatrader.com/events, EVENTS, ninjatrader.com/events. My colleague is behind the scenes managing the chat. Ed Jerkin is there, and Ed is a NinjaTrader, not only platform expert, but anything NinjaTrader expert. He's the go-to guy. If you have any questions about NinjaTrader, go to Ed. He's in the chat right now. Feel free to pop in and say hi to him. So we're talking about chart types. Let's get right to it. Here's my layout. This is my regular layout, right? This is a regular candle chart, Japanese candle chart. Nothing that special, I guess. But let's kind of look through all our options because this is a feature-rich platform. This is the award-winning PC-based NinjaTrader platform. So let's begin by, let's just launch a new chart. I'm going to go to the new tab on the left, and I'm going to go find the word chart in the drop-down menu, and it's going to give me a dialog box. It's going to ask me some questions. So let's go ahead and just add let's create an E-mini S&P chart. I'm going to type in the word ES, and I'm going to scroll down until I find E-mini S&P futures, and I'm going to double-click, and it's going to go ahead and apply that market to the data series window. And on the right-hand side, there's a series of properties, and so I could go ahead and customize these properties. And let me adjust my microphone 1 second. Sorry about that, Jason. And take a peek at some of our options here. We have data series on the top. We have time frame next. We have chart style after that. And we have visual. And right now, my default is for a daily chart. This is a daily candle chart, right? And I'll go ahead and launch this. This isn't anything. This is pretty straightforward, right? This is just a basic candlestick chart. You can see it says chart style candlestick, and I'll hit OK. It'll open up a new window. And so there's my chart. There's my candle chart. It's pretty easy. Now I could go through that and I could customize it, of course. And let's go back to the data series again. I'm gonna go ahead and right click on the chart itself, and I'm gonna go back to data series. That's the same window we just saw, right? You could change colors, you could change bar widths, and stuff like that. Now you could also change the data series here, right? So I have a daily. I'm going to hit that drop-down menu, and you see there's a bunch of options here, right? Some of these options you might be familiar with, some of them you might not be. And we're going to go through many of these today. But a daily candle, as you can see, is just it's every day you have a new data points based on the open, high, low, close of that particular session, and it's color coded, right? Green means it's an up day, red means it's a down day, and you can see the highs and lows represented by wicks. So that's just that's just daily. Now I could change it to a different time frame if I want. This is time series, right? So it's dependent on time. These charts change over time. Now some of these charts won't change over time necessarily, but this is a time specific. So let's go ahead and just click on, I don't know, minute chart, right? We'll change it to a minute chart from a daily chart. Daily charts are referred to as inter-day charts, right? Inter-day, between days. And then when you get into a smaller time frame, less than daily, then it's referred to as an intra-day chart, right? So we'll just do an intra-day chart. We'll change it to a 10-minute chart. I mean, we could change it to any time that you want. You could change it to 1 or 5 or 10 or 3 or anything you want. 15 seems like a good idea. we'll go ahead and hit that 15, and I'll just hit apply, and it'll make the adjustment for me. And again, you can see it's the same thing. It looks the same, right? It's a candle chart of the E-mini S&P. This is the March 2024 contract. And it calculates a new bar every 10 minutes on 10-minute increments. A bar will complete and a new bar will form. I'm sorry, 15-minute increment. I have a 15-minute there. So let's go back to that data series box again. Right click on my chart. That menu will appear. I'll click on data series. What else could we do here? Well, let's go back to that type. Let's go back to that type under data series and see what options there are for us. And I'll click down here. And, there's a longer term intraday chart, right? You can do a weekly chart or a monthly chart. Or if I really want to get crazy, I can do seconds, right? I could just say, hey, every, I don't know, 30 seconds, I want to see a new candle. That would be up to you, right? That would be up to you. But you have all of these different pre-configures here. And then once you select one, the value is what you could change, right? You can change the value to how many seconds as an example. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Now, there's other options here though that traders may want to look at, and let's kind of go through some of these right here. Let's go ahead and pick tick chart, right? And what is a tick chart? Before I even show it, a tick chart represents basically represents the count of intraday trades, right? A new bar or candlestick in this case. It's plotted after the completion of a certain number of trades or ticks are made. So this is based on the number of trades. And we'll go ahead and just put that value at 150. You can make this value whatever you want. However many ticks go by, number of trades go by, then a new bar will be generated. So let's keep it at 150. We could make it whatever we'd like, and we'll keep it as a candle chart. Now, we could make it an open, high, low, close, or anything else. If you go down to chart style, you can make it any of these types of styles, but we'll keep it as a candlestick for now. And I'll go ahead and apply, and then I'll hit OK, and it will adjust. So now I'm going to go ahead and just manipulate my axis a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. So you'll see there is time at the bottom, but the candles aren't based on time, right? The candles are based on that 150 tick level that I sent. So after 150 ticks are traded, then a new candle will populate, right? 150 trades. So that's what triggers the creation or the birth of a new candle, if you will, on tick charts. It's a popular type of analysis technique, but again, it's not. You don't know how quickly or how slowly 150 ticks are going to come in. So the time, you have your bottom axis here. Your bottom axis is the x-axis, and it's not going to be in even increments, right? It's not going to be in even increments. And during faster volatility periods, these will populate quicker, right? During slower volatility periods, these will populate less quickly. So this is, again, tick charts are very common, and it's a definite distinct method of technical analysis that many traders use. But that's a very powerful option that we have here on the NinjaTrader platform. Let's go take a peek at some other ones. I'm going to go ahead, right click again and go to data series. And actually, you know what, folks, I'm going to do, before I do that, let me expand the chart a little bit bigger so we could see the whole thing, right? We could see the whole thing now. This might be better to view the presentation. So I'm going to go right click again, data series. Let's open that box up again. And, no matter what I'm on, no matter what type I'm looking at, you have these customization settings, right? You have these different customization settings that you could consider changing if you'd like. And I encourage you to go ahead and just, experiment with some of those. So let's see what other types we have here. We have, volume charts, which is it's a similar concept. So we're gonna instead of number of trades, we're gonna track the volume, right? And let's say after 1,000 contracts have been traded, and maybe that's one trade, right? Maybe that's 1,001 lots, maybe that's 500 lots. Who knows? But once this volume is traded, right? Once this volume is traded, then it'll go ahead and create a new candle. So I'll hit apply, and then I'll hit OK. And again, it looks like, a regular. If you didn't know, you were just walking down the street one day and you looked in my window, you would say, oh, he's got a Japanese candle chart up here, and you would assume it's time-based, but it's not. It's based on a volume of 1,000.
every time we hit 1,000, we come up with 1,000 worth of volume on the number of contracts traded, then a new bar will pop up, a new candle will pop up, and it'll start counting. There's a new one right here. And it's color coded just the way that a regular candle is. Remember, you have three data points in the candle, right? You have the open and price, you have the high, you have the low, and the close. And so that's why it looks like a candle. So again, volume charts are kind of popular also. And it's gonna change the dynamics of this is going to change again based on what time of day you're trading, right? You have that volume smile that we talk about, where you have a lot of volume on the open, and the stock index future is an example when the New York Stock Exchange opens up. And that kind of tapers off, so it slows down by the time you get to lunch. It's a lower volume environment at lunch, and then as you get closer into the close, then that volume picks up again, creating what looks like a smile. That's hence the word volume smile. So this is again, you could change this to whatever volume number you think is interesting. Let's go ahead and right click again and go back to data series and see what else we have here under data series. Now let's go back to type, and I don't know, let's just see what else we have. We have range bars. Let's go ahead and take a look at range bars. I'll go ahead and select that. Now, a range bar is going to, what we're telling the software is to say, hey, every time we complete a range, whatever value we want to specify, whatever range we want to specify, we want a candle to be completed, right? And then we want a new candle to start. And so let's go ahead and let's create I don't know, we'll keep it simple. We'll keep a value at 4. We'll have a 4 a range bars with 4 as our value, right? So, and this is ticks, right? And this is the mini S&P. It's traded in quarter points. So this is equal to 1 full point, or 4 ticks. So we'll go ahead and hit apply, and we'll hit OK. And then you'll notice it looks like a candle still, right? It looks like a candle still. And the size of each candle is identical. It is exactly 4 ticks high to low, right? It's exactly 4 ticks high to low. And so once it gets to that point, once it gets to a 4 tick range, right? These are range bars, and it's a new candle forms until we get to another 4 tick range, and then another candle is going to form. So you can see every one of these has the same size, right? The same size. And there we have a new candle that was just created. So it's going to be 4, 4, 4, 4. You could change it again to whatever range you want. And if you notice on the bottom, time doesn't matter anymore, right? It could take, I don't know, depending on where you set what range you're looking at. I mean, it could take a long time to get to your range before a new candle is set up. Or in a fast moving market, a trending market, or a breaking market, you can get bars really quickly. So it's kind of a different way to look at it. Time is less important than price. This is more of a price play. And a trader might say, hey, I want to know when every time the S&P 500 breaks out of, I don't know, let's say a 2-point move. So let's go ahead and make that adjustment. I'll right click, I'll go to data series, and I'm simply going to change value from 4 to 8. We'll change it to 4 to 8. This is 2 points, right? Remember, quarters is traded in quarters. Each tick is a quarter. And so I'll hit apply and OK. Chart's going to look a little different, right? And you just get your mind off of the time at the bottom, and then just look at each candle. Each candle is 8 ticks high, or 2 full points in height, from high to low, or from low to high, depending on how we want to measure it. It doesn't matter. It equals 8. And so once that is completed, then in fact a new bar will start. And direction, whatever the direction is on the new bar. You don't know what the direction is going to be. Right now, it looks like the direction tried to make almost got there, right on the contemporary candle where we're looking at, which would have completed the bar, but it didn't. Buyers came back in and pushed us back up, right? Buyers pushed us back up, so there's room to move on the upside, possibly. We don't know, but that's how you kind of would set up your range bars. It's pretty easy. It's kind of handy, actually. And one other thing to think about, and we'll do this a little bit later, is the nice modular feature of NinjaTrader is you could have different size charts, different types of charts side by side when you're looking at them, right? Your traditional chart, and then maybe you want to add a different kind of chart. We'll take a peek at that in a couple of minutes here. We finally completed that eight tick range here on the previous bar, and now we're building another one, right? So this could be some useful information. Let's keep going. Let's go ahead, right click again and go back to data series and see what else we have here. Well, we have Heiken-Ashi, we have Kagi, we have Renko, we have point and figure, line break, and volumetric. Let's pick off a couple of these. Let's look at Renko as an example. Now, a Renko is similar to range, right? We're going to set, but they call them bricks, right? Renkos are called bricks. And, you know, you could set your brick size to whatever you'd like it to be. In this case, we're going to change it to 4, right? And you're going to see a distinct difference in the Renko from the actual range bars, even though we're setting the size of the brick, right? Just we set the size of the candle with ranges. We're setting the size of the brick at 4 ticks. Now, a lot of Renko folks like to see that 45-degree angle, right? So we're gonna go ahead and change the bar width to 20. We're gonna change the bar width to 20, and then we're gonna hit apply and oopsie, okay. And let me kind of open this up a little bit more here and see what we have. So now we have these Renko bricks that are on top of each other. You've probably seen this before, right? And it's if you think, one of the big differences you'll notice right off the bat, there's no wicks, right? We're not tracking wicks anymore. We're just tracking, again, you know, not the open, high, low, close, but when those bricks are completed, right? When those bricks are completed. So that's this is kind of, you've seen these before. And so every time a brick is completed, that's a block of 4, right? It's a block of 4, but a new block won't be created until we go a distance away from the old block. So in other words, you won't see overlaps, right? You're not going to see any overlaps on any of these bricks. You're not going to see wicks interacting or anything like that. So the next brick is either going to have to be 4 ticks down here, which will get us to approximately 61.75. Or the next brick would have to be 4 ticks above the high, which would be up here at 64.75, right? 64.75. And it's, you know, this is Renko charts are based on bricks with a fixed value that filters out smaller price movements. I guess is the idea. Let's filter out the wicks. Let's filter out the smaller, you know, the random price movements and try to get a good base, right? So there we go. We have a new brick formed right here as well. And I could probably do a better job at formatting this, and it's easy to do. I mean, you're just going to go back to indicate. Oopsie, I'm sorry. It's a bad click. Data series, right? We'll go to data series, and then I don't know. Let's change. Ooh, bar width got to be 39. That got funky. Let's change that to 16. And open this up a little bit more. Kind of, this gives you a better look. This gives you a better look. So I must have fat fingered that 39. So, you know, a lot of times the bricks are even sized, and you can experiment with the formatting. It doesn't really matter though, because it shows you pretty much trends within the idea is let's see the trends without the noise, right? Let's see the trends without the noise. And, you know, we have a 4 count brick on the top, a 3 quick brick count on the bottom. And now we're kind of like, oh, we're in no man's land, right? We don't know which way we're going to go. So this is Renko. It's, you know, it's a definitely a unique technical analysis technique. And again, you know, a lot of this technical analysis, the techniques came from Japan, and Renko's no exception. So it's something certainly to do some research on and experiment with different levels and different settings. Let's go back to data series. All right, so what else do we have? Well, let's go back to that drop-down menu. Let's take a look. So we have point and figure, Heiken-Ashi. Well, let's take a look at Heiken-Ashi. So Heiken-Ashi, and again, I'm going to probably put this on a 10-minute chart instead of a 1-minute chart. But Heiken-Ashi techniques, you know, share some characteristics with standard candlestick charts. but uses a modified formula for open, high, low, close. And we're not going to get into the formula, but you'll be able to research that and see what the actual formula is. But it's kind of a modified Japanese candle. And let's go ahead and apply it. Okay, it's going to look like the candle. And again, if you're walking down my street and looking in my window, you can be like, oh, he's got some candles here. Now, one of the things you notice in this technique are some really very large wicks as well, right? You have large wicks in this technique. And these aren't regular open, high, low, close wicks. So remember that as well. They do track price, right? They do track price. And they're also tracking time at the bottom. This does track time as opposed to the previous couple charts we just saw. But again, it's another way to kind of filter out and to get a better average of the candle sizes over time is how the Heiken-Ashi works. Excuse me. All right. So let's keep moving here. Let's see what else we have. Right click. We're going to go to data series. And on data series, we're going to go to a fan favorite. Now, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to hit that drop down menu next to type. I'm going to scroll down to volumetric. Volumetric. What does that mean? What does volumetric mean here? Well, volumetric bars, you're going to see a candle. You're going to see candles, but you're also going to see the delta associated with any price point along the candle. And the delta is the difference between trades that happened on the bid and trades that happened on the offer, or really trades that happened on the offer versus trades that happened on the bid. And it can give traders a sense of momentum and direction. And let's take a peek at it first, and just to kind of see what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and just change this to volumetric. Now you do have to have the order flow version of the software. Make sure you have the order flow version of the software to get this. But I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And we're going to let it populate in OK. And you're going to see something kind of cool, right? So you're going to see something cool. And I'm going to simplify this in a second. Let me just kind of move this over so we can see it a little bit better. And you're going to see the candle, right? You'll see the body. Let's take a look at this candle here, right? This candle here, you're going to see this candle. And you're going to see there's a wick up here you can't really see because it's part of the rectangle. But you know the wick is there because it's part of the rectangle. Same with the next one. You got a wick at the bottom. You have a green body candle in the middle, and then you have a wick at the top, and you have some numbers in the middle here. Now, I'm going to make this easier I'm going to go back to my data series here, and let's just start with chart style type, and I'll just put delta, right? Because this is looking, and we'll come back to this look. We'll come back to this look, but this just calculates the difference, right, between trades that are made on the offer, which are the green ones, and trades that are made on the bid, which are the red ones. And it's color coded for intensity, right? The bigger the positive number, the darker the green, and then, again, this is customizable, and the darker the red, the bigger the negative number, right? And so what traders look for is, hey, when trades are happening continually on the offer, that's upward pressure, right? Offer gets put out there, it gets hit right away. Offer gets put out there, it gets hit right away, and that causes prices to go up. The reverse is true if trades are on the bid side, right, or hitting on the bid side. And when a bid goes up, someone takes it and it pushes the price down. So this shows price pressure on a candle by candle basis, right? This is 1 minute. Maybe we should make that something different. So let's go back to data series. And we could change the base period here. Let's just make it a 10-minute, just to give us a little bit more data to work with. And sure enough, we got a heck of a lot more data to work with. So, how would traders use this information? Well, again, when you see a lot of offers that are happening on the bid, or on the offer rather, or you see a slowdown in the number of trades that are happening on an offer after an up move, it could be a suggestion that things are going to start to turn around. And remember, when you get to this 32 number as an example that we see right here, the 1210 candle, it was building 169, 127, 229, 32. Although these numbers weren't necessarily there at that point. In other words, this price had to come back down. So more trades had to come back down. But as it was happening, you could see that the numbers here, right, were becoming less green. And so really the best way to look at this is with the contemporary data right now, where we're trading at right now at 46.65 right now. And you can see kind of a tug of war going on between minus 136, minus 151. These are offers on the bid. These are trades on the bid, trades on the bid, trades on the bid, suggesting downward pressure, right? Suggesting downward pressure on this candle. And that's what traders like to look at. They focus on these numbers, and they like to, they set up their time frame appropriately, and how they want to look at it. Now, you can get more sophisticated than that, which is where we started from. So we'll go back to that, right? I'm going to right click again. We'll go back to data series. And instead of just looking at the delta chart style type, we'll go ahead and just hit the bid ask, right? We'll change it to bid ask, and those two columns will come back, right? And you'll see trades that the amount of trades that happen in the bid and the amount of trades that happen in the offer on in an actual columns, right? In a table, a manner. It gives you more information, right? It gives you a little bit more information. It is the delta when you add these two together, or you subtract these two. You'll get the true delta, which is why we had one column. It was easier to talk about it, but a lot of traders like to see both, like what's going on right now. Where are the trades happening right now? Are they happening in the bids? They happen on the offers, and how is it moving in real time? So these are called volumetric bars. If you're older, a little bit older, like I am, and use other trading software, you might remember this as a thing called number bars. Maybe, but volumetric bars is a very good, very accurate way to describe it. So at any point in time, if you want to go back again, you're just going to go back to data series and you change your charts to whatever you want, right? We can go back to just a regular 10-minute chart and hit apply, and it's automatically there. You might have to adjust a little bit when you're targeting. As you can see, my candle. My candles are pretty far apart. What happened? Okay, well, we changed chart types too many times. So it kind of got weird, but that's okay. It's easy to fix. I'm going to go up to the upper left here on the chart, and I'll see that I have some options to increase my bar width, right? Or you could just hit that Alt down button, right? You hit the Alt key on your keyboard and your down arrow, right? And I'm going to do that. I'm going to hold my Alt key down, and I'll hit my down arrow here, and you can see that the candles, I can make them as fat or as skinny as I want. And then again, I could use my axis to go ahead and just format the chart to exactly how I'd like it placed on my screen. So there's a couple we didn't go over, right? There's a couple we didn't go over. Let's just talk about them, though. We could talk about them in the drop-down menu here. And we didn't really talk about Kagi charts. Those are kind of a unique kind of thing. It's a little bit of a different charting technique, but it's certainly something that traders like to look at. And point and figure, you've probably seen point and figure again. We can go ahead and add that. Let's go ahead and add a point and figure chart just to kind of see what happens here. So this is probably familiar with this kind of layout, right? With the zeros and the X's and the time frame. So this is another technique that is easily doable. Again, if you're following Trade Guider folks, this is something that they like to follow as well. So this is kind of it's a modular kind of format here. Let's go back and just add, I don't know, let's go back to data series here and just change it back. Let's go back to volumetric bars. Those were fun, right? Let's go back there. We'll change it to, let's see, volumetric bars, minute. Let's change it to 10 again. 10, tick by tick. Okay, we'll get that back going here. We'll format this a little bit. Now, I'm going to turn off Chart Trader real quickly. I'll just turn it. I'm going to hide it, right? I'll hide Chart Trader. And I'm just going to go ahead and position this over on the right-hand side of my screen. I'm going to position this right. And again, you just grab the ends with your mouse. And then I'm going to go ahead and adjust my primary chart here, which is a 10-minute. Again, I'm looking at on the left hand, I'm looking at two different markets here, but I'm going to fix that in a jiffy. That's a legitimate term of art for traders in a jiffy. And we'll go ahead and I got the micro NASDAQ here on the left. I'm just going to go ahead and change this to a MNQ chart, and I'm going to double click on that, and it's going to load the data, and be patient here. So, as an example, a trader might be like, well, whoa, look at that. That's a lot of data. A trader might want to have them side by side, right? You might want to have a couple of different charts side by side, or maybe more than just two charts side by side. Tick charts, range bars, volume bars, candle bars. And again, I got to match the time frames here because I don't have a weekly. But now I'm comparing apples to apples right now, right? And so you can kind of see the regular candle. You can see the volumetric. If I wanted to make this a tick chart, I can. And I could have 4, 8, I don't know, as many different types of charts up side by side on a marketplace. And I could link them all to my market analyzer with my color coding here. So if I just change one thing in my market analyzer, all of these charts would change at the same time. So that's just, I don't know, just a kind of a quick and easy look at the different chart types here at NinjaTrader. All right, well, we covered pretty much the basic ground here. I'm just thinking to myself, is there something else maybe that we want to talk about? And I think we're pretty good. We talked about how to launch a chart. We talked about how to manage that data series box. We talked about how to move windows around and kind of take in multiple information from multiple different chart types. And it's a pretty powerful thing. So I would go ahead and take a peek and do some research and maybe some of these different chart types and see how it might be able to help you with your trading. Appreciate your time today. NinjaTrader Platforms Unleashed. And this is the last show for 2024. All the other ones are archived, I believe, on our YouTube channel. You can go to the website also and find all the links you need for all the different NinjaTrader Platforms Unleashed segments that we've done throughout the course of the summer and the fall and now into the winter. Having said all that, folks, I greatly appreciate everybody being here with me today, side by side with us at NinjaTrader. And most important message, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. See you soon.